What is up YouTube, and welcome to this The Batman video. So the trailer is out and it looks stunning. I have a full trailer breakdown on my channel which you can go and check out, but today we will be discussing a very cool Easter egg that was in the Batman trailer, and it actually gives us a clue as to who is actually helping the Riddler. So before we jump in, please do drop a like down below and subscribe with notifications on, and check out our Discord as well in the description below to come and chat with us and have a great time. Now, Robert Pattinson very much made a statement as Batman, in the new trailer for Matt Reeves' Batman. We are getting a very dark take on the Riddler, and it's a character which has previously been somewhat of a kitschy, kind of hokey character, especially in Gotham and when Jim Carrey donned that question mark catsuit. But here, he is actually taping up victims' faces as he's ready to play his games with the Batman. And one thing actually caught my eye in this trailer. One of the clues that is sent to Batman by way of a very gruesome crime scene. Yes, this isn't your pappy's Riddler. Well, Batman is given a card from a secret friend. On it is an owl, which is on its own just simple. It's a card from a friend. But when opened, there are some weird little symbols, and these with the owl on the front means this is a huge Easter egg, implying that the Court of Owls are coming to the cinema. The Court of Owls appeared in issue 3 of Batman during the New 52, where their lairs were actually found in the 13th floor of certain buildings around Gotham City, where the Talons made their nests, the assassins of the secret cabal. The members of the court are the people from the richest and most powerful families in Gotham, and they assassinate those people in their way using talons, frozen assassins supplied to them by Haley's circus. Yes, that circus that Dick Grayson was part of, which meant he was actually supposed to become a Talon. The court wanted to kill both Bruce Wayne and Batman, as when Bruce Wayne actually returned to Gotham, he used his money to rejuvenate the city and make it better, while Batman was at night keeping the city safe away from the absolute nutbags that exist in Gotham City. Now, this would fit the timeline, as Bruce is only in year 2 and must have gotten the attention of the Owl's masked court in his first year. Bruce is just finding his feet as Batman, but I would imagine that the Court of Owls are not pleased with this whatsoever. The merging of storylines can work here, and they could even be orchestrating things from the shadows and revealing themselves later in the trilogy, which would be very cool. A mystery that shows the court. Well, that would be very cool. They are the best thing to be added to the Batman mythos in over 20 years, in my opinion. The Riddler is also killing those who are very powerful in Gotham, as we saw in the trailer. Matt Reeves has said that multiple stories are being adapted, such as Dark Victory, The Long Halloween, and even parts of Year 1 as well. But it isn't a Year 1. We actually start with Batman being Batman. Now, Long Halloween actually follows Batman as he tries to stop the infamous Holiday Killer, and Dark Victory then picks up in the aftermath. Instead of a Falcone serial killer, who the Holiday Killer actually was in both those stories, well, I think they are using the Riddler to have or at least be the killer here, killing famous people in Gotham. I just hope we don't have to find almost 300 Riddler trophies to finish the movie. But how could the Riddler know to target the Batman? Well, more than likely, I think that he's actually been slighted by Batman and probably locked up, and then reinvented himself to become the trickster we know. Now, I'm not saying that the Riddler is working direct and kind of in conjunction with the court, but I think they are manipulating him as a warhammer to break the Batman, who is messing with their interests in Gotham City. I think that they fed him information and then he's gone on to do his own thing. If you squint, you can kind of see a likeness between the Riddler and the Talon outfit. I'm joking, of course, but what if he learned the Owl's secrets and wanted to become a Talon? No, probably not. That's just me having a bit of fun there. But what leads me to believe that the Riddler is being employed by the Court of Owls is that Matt Reeves said this. It's the Gotham experiment. He's trying to figure out what he can do that can finally change this place, Gotham that is. In our story, he's in that mode. That's where you meet him. You see that it is charting what he's doing, and it seems that he's not having any of the effects that he wants to have yet. That is when the murders start to happen, and then the murders begin to describe the history of Gotham in a way that only reinforces what he knows. It opens up a whole new world of corruption that went much farther. You start to see this epic history of corruption and gossip you understand well. This makes sense as we see the corruption throughout the Court of Owls. Their history is Gotham's. They've been around for centuries, and Bruce's history is also Gotham's. They are both intertwined, of course, and it's all a game to show how the Bat and the Bruce are complicit by this history as well. Now, in the Telltale Batman games, Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father, was implicated with the Falcons. So maybe this is where they're going. Maybe they're trying to show that Bruce Wayne, by way of his father, is corrupt as well. And it's more of a detective-style story that we're getting here, which the Court of Owls highlighted very well. Bruce had to use his all part of his toolkit of the world's greatest detective to actually work this out. And the long-standing conspiracy could be just that, the actual Court of Owls. Now, the Talons would make some great villains in this movie, but I think we're going to get a tease and we're going to see this kind of evolve over the trilogy. And I think seeing them, or at least the Batman 3, the Court of Owls, would be something that I think would really, really work. They are in the shadows and they love a good mystery, and a kind of real down on his luck guy called the Riddler. Well, that would actually work very, very well. Now, Matt Reeves has also said, when regarding, or at least talking about GCPD, he says that the idea of this story in which Gotham has this sort of depth of corruption, and then the idea that we could do a series that would go deeper into an aspect of it, which in this case is the corrupt police department and the corrupt inner workings of the city. Well, that would work because we've got a character called Commissioner Peter Savage, who is actually in this movie and is a character from year one of Batman. And that's interesting, just a weird one as well. He is played by Trevor, who was in EastEnders, which is absolutely crazy. Now as well, you've got the Penguin. So all of these could add up to the Court of Owls trying to really make, or at least protect, their business interests at least. And I think that's definitely what they're trying to do here. Now there is another idea that the Riddler isn't working for the Court of Owls, but he's actually worked out that the Court of Owls truly exist. And what is interesting is that there was actually a nice little poem, a kid's story, that was revealed in the Court of Owls storyline that hints towards that they actually exist. And this is the poem that actually sets everything off. And it said, "Beware the Court of Owls that watches all the time, ruling Gotham from a shadowy perch, behind granite and lime. They watch you at your hearth, they watch you in your bed. Speak not a whispered word of them, or they'll send the talon for your head." This is the nursery rhyme that sets up the clues for the Court of Owls story. One thing that didn't sit right for me with my original idea is, why would the Riddler be used as a simple pawn? He's far, far too smart for that, in my opinion. What if this is part of his game? What if he's worked out and knows that the Court of Owls exist and is just simply toying with Bruce and the Batman? He clearly knows Bruce's true identity, and we saw that at the end of the video when they seemingly talk by video call. They are just zooming there, having a Zoom pub quiz, I imagine. The Riddler knows that maybe Thomas and Martha were involved with a court changed here for the story, or at least this version of the Court of Owls, and Bruce doesn't know any of this at all, and he wonders why he's being toyed with. It's why he wants no more lies, and maybe he sees Batman as turning a blind eye because, well, he thinks that he's part of the Court of Owls and the entire court's dealings, which is why he says, "What's the price for your blind eye?" Yes, that is a really interesting idea there, and I think I may go with this one more than the first one I presented to you. So, if you like this, let me know what you think down below. Do you want to see the Court of Owls, and do you think this is what they're actually working on? But if you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like down below, and please do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.